Howdy folks, welcome back to Boondockery. I have a very impromptu little video I'm going to do today, and it is about this chest rig. And not just this chest rig, but any similar type of chest rig. Now, chest rigs have been around for a good long while. There's all kinds of manufacturers out there producing them, most notably Hill People Gear. They have some that would fit any possible need. This is a very budget one. It's Winex Tactical. I purchased it from Amazon. I've had a couple different ones. One I gave away. It was a little bit smaller than this, but I've used this quite a bit. And the way that I use it is primarily things that I want to have quick access to. And instead of trying to dig around in my pockets, especially if I'm wearing a battle belt or something around my waist, it could even be, a padded backpack waist strap, but things that would prevent me from putting my hands in my pockets, or things like I would have in my pocket, like car keys, things like that that might make noise. I can actually put them in something like this and alleviate a lot of that. Well, I've worn it with backpacks, different types of rigs, and it's very convenient. However, I started using it in a way that probably not a whole lot of people have. And when I go to bed at night, when I'm wild camping, patrolling, whatever, I'm either in a hammock or I'm on the ground. Usually in a hammock. Now, in a hammock, you can have all kinds of these really crazy little gadgets that people produce in little gear lofts and things like that, to where you have to reach up and grab something and things like that. And, those are great little things. But in a hammock, you have to sleep on your back. And instead of reaching up for something that very easily could have slid down the ridge line, or feeling around for something, you can have it right here. And so anything that I think that I would need in the middle of the night while I'm sleeping in my hammock, and it also works equally well while you're ground camping. I'm a back sleeper primarily, and if I do turn from one side to the other, this does not in any way feel uncomfortable. It doesn't impede my comfort and my sleep. So when I'm asleep in my hammock, I just reach in, get what I need if I need something in the middle of the night. And so, just for example, I get a phone call. Okay, they need me back at the house, so it's right there, and I don't have to fumble around looking for it in the gear loft. Or if by any chance, when I was getting in my hammock, my head bumped it and it fell into the hammock, and it's now underneath my bottom, and I can hear it, I can feel the vibrations, but I'm trying to find it. It's right here. I also, where I camp, just as general practice, I always have my firearm with me. And in a gear loft, something like this, but now I very easily can have a firearm exactly where I need it, where I can get to it instantly. So things that I would have in this for when I'm using it while I'm sleeping in my hammock or ground camping, I have my cell phone. I have this little clip-on stream light, which is very convenient. Like if I'm getting up to go to the bathroom, instead of putting my headlamp on, which I very easily can, I just go ahead and turn my lamp here on, take care of business, get back in the hammock, and go back to sleep. So, this is exactly what I had in it last night when I camped. So I got my cell phone, I've got my pistol, 2 magazines, I've got my car keys, and all those things are things that I would need to get to immediately. Now, I also had wipies, and but I used the last of my wipies, so the package is not in there. Time to refill. But I know a lot of people looked at this as something to supplement their load when you're hiking, backpacking, things like that, patrolling. and it's fantastic for that. But I found that I use this every single time I go out now when I'm hammock camping and ground camping in this configuration. I may or may not use it while I'm hiking, I'm walking around camp or things like that. But things that you would normally keep in your pockets, you can keep in here. Things you may not need in the middle of the night that you would keep in your pockets when you're hammock camping. Like I roll my stuff up, my clothing up, and I tuck it up behind my knees, so my knees don't lock in the middle of the night where I'm in a hammock. Well, even though I roll it up, things have been known to fall out of those pockets, and then when I get up next morning, I'm trying to find them. I'm like, where? Oh, go back and look in the hammock, and there they are. Any of that stuff that's in your pockets can go right in here while you're using this at your sleep time. And I've been doing this for a while, and I don't think this is a thing for most people, but I decided to share it. And the chest rig, like this, the little chest pouch, has become the new waist pack or fanny pack. And it's super convenient, super comfortable, and it's very, very practical. But in addition to the way most people use it, for hammock camping in particular, and you can even use it on ground camp if you're not a belly sleeper, this thing works fantastic to keep what you need throughout the middle of the night, emergencies or whatever, right here. Very convenient, very accessible, and you can get them in just about any size. This right here is a little bit larger than the other one I gave away. They have some that's literally like this size. Whatever size you think that you could use for that particular mission, they probably have one available for you. Any color of the rainbow, multiple camouflage patterns. This is an absolutely fantastic invention, and like I said, I use this thing at night every single time I go out. Well, folks, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.